Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. The president and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell appeared together at an unscheduled news conference in the Rose Garden Monday. The president is pushing ahead with his plans on getting tax reform complete by the end of the year. McConnell says he is on board, but Congress faces challenges in getting it done before this year is over. Charlene Aaron has the story.
President Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell promising sweeping changes by way of tax reform, while also insisting their relationship is outstanding, despite their public disagreements in the last few months.
We are probably now, despite what we read, we're probably now, I think, at least as far as I'm concerned, closer than ever before. And the relationship is very good. We're fighting for the same thing. We're fighting for lower taxes, big tax cuts, the biggest tax cuts in the history of our nation.
McConnell says he's on board, and his goal is tax reform by the end of the year.
I want to underscore what the president said. We have the same agenda. We've been friends and acquaintances for a long time. We talk frequently. We don't give you a readout every time we have a conversation, but frequently we talk on the weekends about the issues that are before us. Obviously, passing the budget, which enables tax reform and tax reduction, comes next.
The president has also voiced frustration with the Senate in failing to keep his campaign promise to repeal and replace Obamacare, but he isn't giving up.
We are working very hard to get the tax cuts. We will continue to work hard to get the health care completed.
For now, tax reform will be front and center. Congress faces tough challenges in getting a tax bill done this year. It's not clear yet if all of the Republican senators will vote for it, but many are already on board. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Dozens of ISIS fighters were killed by forces in Yemen Monday. The Pentagon says airstrikes targeted 2 camps and disrupted the training of new fighters. The attack was approved under existing counterterrorism authorities. Nuclear war may break out at any moment, according to North Korea's deputy UN ambassador. He says North Korea has been subjected to an extreme and direct nuclear threat from the United States and has the right to self-defense, adding that the rogue regime has become a full-fledged nuclear power with an atomic bomb, an H-bomb, and intercontinental ballistic rockets. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country's greatest friend and ally are Christians. Speaking before a room full of Christian journalists, he said Israel is the safest place for Christians to live in the Middle East and called out Iran for severely persecuting believers.
Pastors are jailed for no reason other than for being Christian leaders. Christians have been lashed. You hear this? Christians have been lashed for sipping wine during prayer services. Christians have been brutally tortured for doing nothing more than practicing their faith.
Netanyahu also discussed how Israel is being a light to the nations by sending humanitarian relief all over the world. Chris Mitchell is joining us right now from Jerusalem. Chris, thank you for joining us. Why does Netanyahu say Christians are Israel's #1 ally?
Evangelical Christians have been supporting Israel for decades. In fact, CBN founder Pat Robertson was one of the first evangelical leaders to show his support for the Jewish state, and that's been followed by his son Gordon Robertson. But across the evangelical world, in the United States, around the world, you can see just a passionate support for the state of Israel.
You talk about how Israel is blessing the world. How and where is Israel sending relief right now?
When I asked the prime minister that question, you could tell that this was just sort of part of his soul. He answered, he said, because it's the prophecies, as we showed in that story. It's Israel become a light to the nations. You can see their humanitarian relief work right after the Mexico earthquake just a few weeks ago. They came and helped Americans and after Hurricane Harvey, after Hurricane Irma. They responded in Nepal after the earthquake there a couple of years ago. And you can see actually Israeli volunteers helping Syrian refugees on the Greek islands when there was just a flood of Syrian refugees into Europe. It's just sort of part of the Israeli and Jewish DNA.
Chris, I want to talk a little bit about Iran. We hear all these reports about Iran trying to gain more control in the Middle East. How is Israel responding?
Well, Israel is doing what it can. They are trying to prevent Iran from coming up close to the border with Syria on the Golan Heights. They've actually done a number of military strikes in there against Iran, any proxies of Iran, Hezbollah. And that is probably one of their #1 military goals right now, is to prevent Iran from getting military bases and a foothold right on Israel's doorstep.
Chris, thank you.
Great to be with you.
California residents will be able to return home after some of the most devastating wildfires in the state's history. The wildfires killed more than 40 people and took crews more than a week to contain. As you can see, some homes were left barely standing. Others have been reduced to ash. Lighter winds gave fire crews a chance to combat the flames and allow residents to go back to their neighborhoods. The return home is expected to be quite emotional. The NFL protests are back in the headlines now that former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick filed a grievance complaint against the league. Kaepernick believes team owners colluded to keep him off the field for kneeling during the national anthem. He says it was his way to protest racial injustices and police brutality. But the move angered some, including President Donald Trump, who said players who take a knee should be fired. Bishop T.D. Jakes, pastor of the 30,000-member multicultural Potter's House Church in Dallas, Texas, told CBN News he supports the players' right to protest just as much as he supports the right of those who criticize them.
When you are a lightning rod and you strike an issue and you set it off, don't expect the public to clap. Nobody clapped for Rosa Parks when she sat in a seat that she wasn't supposed to sit in. I'm hoping that we can go beyond the temporal to a deeper conversation as to what made the kneel happen in the first place, rather than the weaker conversation to, is this mismanners appropriate for somebody who loves our country? You can love somebody and still criticize him. You can love the country and still say there are things that needs to be changed.
Now you can hear more of our discussion with Bishop T.D. Jakes at our website. It's cbnnews.com. Still ahead, the organization that's launching a counterattack against the enemy that has claimed the lives of our veterans. Head to the drop zone for Operation Restored Warrior. We've got the story coming up after this. It's been estimated that a military veteran commits suicide each hour of every day. But one organization hopes to change that by helping vets fight their way back to restoration. Mark Martin is here to bring us that story.
Veterans fighting overseas not only suffer physically, but emotionally as well. Hidden battle scars that make life difficult back home. That's where Operation Restored Warrior comes in. To find it, CBN News traveled to the heart of Colorado. With its wide open spaces and large horse corral, the Four Eagle Ranch resembles something out of the Old West. But take a closer look and you'll see much more. Organizers of Operation Restored Warrior say it's a location where healing takes place. While the program welcomes all faiths, its core Christian ministry is the 5-day program called the Drop Zone.
A drop zone is a place in enemy territory where you go take that ground. And very often in kind of Christian environments, we refer to things as retreats. I'm going to go to a retreat. And that just didn't sit well with us as professional military men. It's like, well, why are we retreating? How about if we go gain ground? So we specifically call coming to a drop zone a counterattack. And that appeals to warriors.
That counterattack is threefold: rescue, rebuild, and restore.
Warriors come to this place because they're looking for hope. And often the enemy has just beat them down. But this is the place where they know there's some hope. And then when they get here, what they find out is that this is where healing is. And that hope and healing is here because Jesus is here.
The intensive program targets areas of the heart that need healing. ORW leaders hold to the belief psychology reveals Jesus heals, and say it's been proven hundreds of times. For participants like Navy veteran Paul Williams, the program can be a literal lifesaver.
July 2nd of this year, I had written a note, and I was ready to go. And it just didn't happen. You know, I went back to my truck to go get the gun, and it wasn't there. So I just started praising Jesus with my praise and worship music, and said, you know what, I need to give this ORW, Operation Restored Warrior, a really good shot.
And that decision led to victory.
I was able to open up to Paul, the founder of ORW, about all the trash that I've been carrying. And it felt so good to finally just let it out, you know. And I can't thank this organization enough. I mean, I came here fighting for my life. And I'm gonna walk away a champion. So, I love them a lot, and I'm super thankful for it.
Former atheist Paul Lavelle started ORW 9 years ago.
Around 2008, I felt like Jesus just put in my heart that he had gifted me my whole life to rescue people. And I felt like I had a unique gift of healing as well, but I had no idea it had to do with anything spiritual. And about 2008, I just felt this nudge that I had to do something. ORW, our focus is to heal. And we bring Jesus into that healing process.
Army veteran Braxton Dunbar dealt with many things, including suicidal thoughts, before coming to ORW.
I was definitely a broken man. Had a lot of depression and anxiety, a lot of anger, a whole lot of anger, and just felt lost. Really, just didn't know where my place was. Didn't know how to find my place either. Dunbar accepted Christ during the drop zone and decided to get baptized. The same individual that prayed with me, Jordan, kind of came to me and said, you know, you accepted him yesterday and you verbally accepted him into your life. Would you want to show the action of it? And there was no question at all. I said, absolutely, I'd love to. Retired Air Force Chaplain Steve Frick also received healing through the program.
ORW doesn't just help, they heal. And that's a little hard to hear when you first get here, but I'm telling you, it's true.
In addition to powerful sessions building up the faith of the men, the drop zone also allows time for recreational activities like fly fishing. What can they learn from this? Lavelle says it nourishes the soul, among other things.
The reason we do the activities is because it's part of a spiritual longing for a man to have adventure in his life. It's one of the core desires of a man. And so as part of this restoration process, we want to remind them that there is adventure out there.
Retired Command Sergeant Major Chris Fields is the drop zone lead facilitator. He too once contemplated taking his life and also lost fellow service members to suicide. Fields understands the urgency of going through this program before it's too late.
Don't wait another moment to reach out and to ask for help. I used to think that I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I ate barbed wire in the morning, and you can surmise what I did in the afternoon. But when I reached out for help, I'm stronger than I ever was. And it just takes one moment to say, okay, let me see what this is all about. And then let Jesus take it from there.
Mark Martin, CBN News, Walcott, Colorado.
Up next, learn what not to say and how you can help cancer patients fighting the often deadly disease. It is a word no one wants to hear, cancer. Yet statistics show half of all of men and a third of all of women will get some form of the disease. In many cases, people simply suffer in silence as they try to cope with that illness. Now, as Lori Johnson shows us, an organization is teaching churches how to help cancer patients.
Hello, Sheila.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, dear?
Doing well.
Good to see you.
After years of counseling cancer patients, Reverend Percy McCrae knows they bear a burden unlike people fighting other illnesses.
Psychologically and emotionally, cancer patients, particularly people of faith,
are struggling with their faith at that point. What did I do wrong? Is there something that I did that caused God to punish me?
Thanks to his training, Reverend McCrae knows the importance of encouragement. Then one conversation helped him realize others need to learn these skills too.
The patient shared with me that they were impacted more by the pastoral care support that they received at the bedside of our hospital than they did at their local church.
Typically, churches are very effective when it comes to helping people with all kinds of problems like financial or marital, but often fall short when it comes to dealing with health care issues.
Especially cancer.
And therefore, they really struggle with what do I say, when do I say it, how do I say it? And so what happens, one of the #1 dynamics that takes place with the cancer patient and their caregiver is that they begin to feel a sense of isolation and that people begin to avoid them altogether.
To bridge this gap, Reverend McCrae and his associates at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America approached churches about teaching their members how to minister to their brothers and sisters with cancer. It's called Our Journey of Hope.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America offers free training for 2 people from a church who use what they learn here to raise up cancer ministries in their home congregations.
Participants learn the basics of the disease and treatments in order to focus on what it's like for the patient. An added incentive for churches, the training, food, lodging, even the course materials are all free.
We did not want to limit the ability to have the average church receive this training because of lack of resources.
LaWanda Long attended the seminar years ago and now passes on what she learned to volunteers at Atlanta's Enon Baptist Church.
When we announced we were going to start this ministry, I want to say we started out with 12 to 15 folk, and all of them had a personal relationship with cancer. Either they were a cancer survivor or a caregiver of a cancer patient.
She teaches volunteers 1 night a week for 8 weeks to prepare them to meet with cancer patients in their church.
Sometimes people don't know what to say for those who's battling with cancer. Sometimes they may say, oh, I have a loved one who had cancer. They had that same symptom and they died. Wrong thing to say. I think the main thing we're trying to train people is to have empathy, to listen, to not try to fix it, but just to be there. To realize that God is everywhere and God will have a witness in every situation.
So far, the ministry's a success.
A lot of times people don't understand the impact cancer does to a family and to a person. It's more than just a physical detriment. It attacks their spirit and attacks their soul.
Lisa McDermott remembers suffering through 5 months of chemotherapy for breast cancer.
With me, it was strictly fatigue. I just could not get off the couch, just down.
She asked the cancer ministry for help with daily needs.
It makes a real difference when you're just too sick to do anything. You don't feel well, you don't want to do the dishes, you don't want to get up, you don't want, you've got groceries to get, you don't want to go drive anywhere, so it's a great ministry.
Lisa dealt with one main point person who recruited others to pitch in.
Everything makes a difference. People, phone calls, cards, letters, just to know that people are thinking about me, praying for me, caring about me.
The cancer ministry made such an impression that Lisa wanted to get the training.
We put packages together for everyone that we find out about, that's referred to us, care packages for them all. I got one too. It was very, very nice. All kinds of things in the little care package, books and journals and socks to keep warm and just hats, all kinds of things, just beautiful things, jewelry.
As Nefertiti Dixon's mother fought ovarian and colon cancer, the ministry stepped in.
Oh goodness, words can't explain. They were awesome. Just when you think you're by yourself, you're not.
Although her mom lost her fight, the cancer ministry made those final days easier.
Helping just around the house, food, things that my mom needs. She would need errands ran, medicine. Sometimes she just wanted to have someone to sit with her and talk, just companionship.
They also helped Nefertiti, who, as a working mom with 2 children, became overwhelmed with the pressure of caring for her sick mother. So while cancer will likely continue to strike far too many, churches now can choose to help those dealing with the disease. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Powerful story shows that everyone can make a difference and lend a hand by simply knowing what to say. Stay with us. We'll be right back. CBN's Orphans Promise is helping to serve Mongolian children with special needs. These children are treated like outcasts as they are denied proper medical care or therapy. Parents of special needs children often are forced to leave their careers to care for their children. The end result is more hardship, poverty, and desperate living conditions. But Orphans Promise partnered with Mongolian Asia Reach Ministries through a group called Reaching the Light, a development center that's a source of hope for these families, where they are trained by doctors and therapists and offered first-class care as well as rehabilitation services to the families at no cost. The children are now leading healthier and much happier lives. It's time now for your Tuesday Tweetable. Know this: success is not an instant mix. It takes time, work, and patience. Most importantly, as believers, it requires the hand of God be at work in your life. So when you see success in others, know this: you may see the glory, but you don't always see the grind. The grind, in many cases, is hours of work to get where they are. And for sure, don't forget the days and nights of prayer for God's guidance along the very long journey. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. We thank you so much for your company. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. And we'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that first by emailing us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can also reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We look forward to hearing from you and possibly sharing your thoughts right here on the air. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a terrific Tuesday. We'll see you right back here come tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless.